Alright, guys, today we're going to be reacting to 10 incredible facts about Germany, part 2. Thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for everything you guys have done to my channel. Really appreciate it, like always. For those new subscribers, welcome to the PF for reacting. We're going to keep reacting to the part number 2 or 10 plus facts about Germany. Let's jump in and make sure you like to subscribe. For Discord, be part of the community. Links in the description and the comment section as well. For donations, super chat, and links in the descriptions as well. Let's jump in. The music, man.
Welcome to the world of Germany, a beautiful country filled with great art, culture, and a people who have worked hard to change the way the world looks at them. And here on FTD Facts, we've explored the country in the past, but are continuing today to learn what is even more fascinating about this amazing, great country and its people. Hey everybody, welcome to FTD Facts. My name is Dave Walpole, and
Hey
this
man,
is a channel
we
where
reacted to
people,
him
cultures,
a
and
little
places
earlier. We reacted to him a little earlier. He's good. I like him. He's very good.
from all around the world. Now, Germany is a very unique and amazing country, and for me here, we're finally doing a part 2 because our first one was really successful, and a lot of you guys had some really positive things to say about the country. But for me, most of the people on the channel have been wondering, where the heck has Dave Walpole been for like the entire month? Because, well, I've been in South Africa working on a feature film. One thing that was really good is I got to work with Peter Kurth, who's an amazing film and theater actor that's from Germany, and he told me so many great things about the country. So with all that in mind, we're going to take a deeper look at the country, and we're going to find out what is truly unique about it and what makes it special and what makes it still stand today as one of the most powerful forces on the entire planet. So let's get cracking. First of all, did you know that there are many countries that use daylight savings time? Now, some of you guys may be wondering, what is daylight savings time? Well, in
Daily saving time, huh?
countries like here in Canada and Germany, what they do is they actually roll the clock in the summer seasons ahead by 1 hour in order to save energy. And for Germany, it was actually the first country in the world to implement daylight savings time. And although it was originally proposed by George Hudson in 1895, they brought it into service on April 30th, 1916. And it's interesting to know that Germany is a country that is the first country to ever do daylight savings time. They are also the first country in the entire world to mass produce a book. This would be the Gutenberg Bible, which was printed by Johannes Gutenberg in Mainz. Now, originally it was written in Latin, and currently there are only 49 copies of this book, with only about 21 in completed form. And because of that, these books are considered some of the rarest books in the entire world. And as for the amount of these Bibles that were originally printed, it is currently unknown. But since its original production, which was somewhere in the 1450s, it is estimated that there was a total 158 to 180 copies of the Gutenberg Bible.
Wow.
And for the 21 copies that are actually in completed form, they're distributed around the world. But the one that's in the New York Public Library was the first one that was actually purchased by the Americas. So in Germany, you might have heard of this very famous highway called the Autobahn. Now, many people will think that the Autobahn...
A lot of people like that, man. I'm not a fan of speed. I'm going to be honest. Autobahn is not something that comes to mind when it comes down to these things. I'm not looking forward to just drive fast and... I don't know, man. I'm very patient when it comes down to the road, so... I just go slow, you know, I'll get there when I get there.
Autobahn is a road where it has no speed limits. But however, it is reported that about 65% of the road operates without speed limits. And on the highways, there are signs that suggest 80 miles per hour, with others suggesting 60 miles per hour. So there is a common misconception when it comes to the Autobahn, because a lot of people think that it was Hitler that created this highway, but that's not actually true. The original concept for the highway came from the Avis Experimental Highway in 1913. And above that, there were parts of the Autobahn that were actually created prior to the Nazi regime. But however, when the Nazi Party did come into power, they finished the highway because they needed to move troops from one side of Germany to the other. Now, Germany is also a country that is known for some very interesting architecture. For example, Frankfurt is an amazing sky skyline and is home to some of the tallest buildings in the country. But which building is the tallest building in Germany, and does it compete to other buildings around the world? Well, the tallest goes to the Commerzbank Tower, which was built in 1997, and until 2003 it was the tallest building in all of Europe. And from its completion, this 56-story tower comes in at 259 meters tall. However, it also reaches up to 300 meters with its spire,
That's tall,
and it
man.
only took approximately 3
Wow, that's tall. That's tall. That's a tall building. Very tall.
years to build. So now, when I was in South Africa, one thing that my good friend Peter Kurth was always telling me about was the food in Germany, but more specifically the bread, because every single day when we were working on set, he would say, "I just want brown German bread." And I was like, what is so good about brown German bread? Well, apparently Germany is known throughout the world for its famous bread. Me, I always thought it would be the French or the Italians, but I guess I was wrong, because rye bread coming from Germany is so good. For example, the pretzel is considered a type of bread that was created in the southern regions of Germany.
Oh my
And as
God.
for the rest, well, Germany has over 600 at least different types of official breads. And if we go into pastries, that is astronomically
That's
out
another
there
part.
because
Yeah,
they
that
have over
when it comes down.
1,000
Yeah, when it comes down to pastry, man, they're just knocking the ball out of the park. Look at those pastry. Oh my God.
200 different types of pastries that are officially from Germany. And guys, I'm
Yep.
not gonna lie, for the next couple of facts, I'm gonna be talking about food. So listen, if you want, you could pause this video right now, go get a beer and go get some food, because I guarantee you at the end of this video, you're gonna be absolutely hungry. So go do that now and then come back. So jumping back to breads, one of the most popular, as I mentioned earlier, is rye bread. As a matter of fact, rye bread has a very particular type called pumpernickel. And for pumpernickel, it is
Pumpernickel.
commonly agreed that it originated in the Westphalia region of Germany.
Wow,
and
look
was
at that.
first referenced in print in 1450. But pumpernickel, so why is it a fantastic bread and why is it a very good bread? Well, one thing to know about the Germans is that these guys are purists. And I'm not talking about purists maybe emotionally and spiritually, but when it comes to their food and their drink, they
Yeah, they like traditions. They're very into their tradition. I think that's why they're very strong in a lot of these things that have to do with their way of life. They're very strong in tradition.
They love everything as clean as it possibly can be. Because, for example, pumpernickel does not contain any food coloring, and in order for it to get its brown, unique look, it has to bake for approximately 16 to 24 hours in low temperatures. 24 hours for bread? No wonder why my buddy Peter Kurth was like just crazy about bread. Man, I gotta get some authentic German bread in me. So let's move along and talk about one of Germany's greatest dishes, and that is schnitzel. So yeah, okay, a lot of you
Schnitzel.
Germans out there who are probably watching this video, they're like, yeah, we know everything about schnitzel. We know all the stuff, so we can just skip this. Well, if we're gonna dive a little deeper into the food, first of all, schnitzel is so famous that it actually has its own national day in Germany, which
What?
is September 9th. But as for Wiener Schnitzel, it appeared actually in the 19th century, firstly being mentioned in a cookbook in 1831. Now, okay, we've talked about two really big dishes in Germany.
Man, did I tell you the story about schnitzel? I remember my wife was telling me about it. Yeah, we were supposed to have a schnitzel in our wedding. And they forgot about it.
But we've just scratched the surface of food, because now we gotta talk about beer, because, oh yeah, I love this stuff and I hope
They
you
messed
guys
it
do
up big
too.
time.
As a matter of fact, when it comes to Europe, Germany sits in the beer belt, which is a location where countries drink more beer than any other liquid. Now, when you're in Germany, one thing that you need to know is that when you're ordering a beer, you don't say, "Can I get one beer?" You're not supposed to use your finger to actually order a beer. You're actually supposed to use your thumb. So if you want to order one beer, you say, "Un Bier." Well, you don't have to say "un Bier," but that is the proper way to say a beer. And then you'd have to say "Danke." And another thing,
Thank
did
you.
you know that there are German
Beer.
purity laws when it comes to alcohol? As a matter of fact, I actually didn't find this out until I was in South Africa and I saw some German beers, but there is a thing called the Reinheitsgebot purity law. Now, this was a law that dates back to the 1500s, and it ensured price protection of alcohol and for things like wheat and rye. And today, it's commonly thought that it is a staple or stamp that says that there are no preservatives or additives in the alcohol that you are buying. And as for this rule, it has been around since April 23rd of 1516, and it is one of the
Oh, look at that
oldest
guy.
food
Wow.
laws in the entire world. Now
Wow.
today, some people think that it might be actually more for beer marketing and it doesn't have any proper value
Wow.
to it, but
That's insane, man. Wow. Shout out to that dude, man. Wow, that was impressive.
However, in today's world, it does mean that the beer is made of only hops, malts, and water, and even yeast. And if you drink wheat beers and it has this label, they are pretty much top of the line fermented. And I will say this, the beauty of having a drink that has the Reinheitsgebot stamp, well, you don't really get a hangover. At least not what I found out.
point.
So that's a positive thing right there. And on top of that, when it comes to your angled pint glass, it actually originated in Germany. With its narrow bottom and wider top, this is called a Weissenglas, which is properly used for serving Weizenbier, which is
Wow, look at that.
classified as wheat
Isn't that cool?
beers. Now these are slightly bigger than your traditional pint glass, being able to hold 500 milliliters of alcohol. But of course, in Germany they also have beer steins. Now how did
Wow,
these
that
evolve?
looks nice.
Well, beer steins did originate in many places in Europe, but it is common belief that in Germany, the beer steins that have the lids on top of them originated within the country during the Black Plague to keep diseased flies out of a drink. And in today's
Wow.
world, there is a town called Kennerbackerland, which is considered stein capital of the world, as their potters are known for making the best quality and the most steins in the entire country. And on top of that, it is famous for being the home of the original producers of steins. But either way, guys, that is us taking another look at Germany. What a fantastic country. And sure, we focused a lot on food in this video, but cuisine is a thing
Wow.
that helps define a culture. My name's Dave Walpole, guys, and I want to thank you guys for...
Man, that was a nice video, man. That follow-up video, very good, man. Very good. When it comes down to the beer, I'm very impressed how the Germans have kept that tradition for that long. That tells you how strong their culture is. Very strong culture. I hope they can keep it for the next thousands of years, man. I hope so. May God bless the German people, man. Good culture. Very good culture. Very great example to follow, right? When it comes down to the way of thinking, why we need to do this, why we need to do that. Thinking about not only themselves, but others at the same time. Wow, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Like always, I'll see you in the next one.